Welcome to the summary video of the Elk River Downtown Plan. This video will provide a brief overview of the plan process, recommendations, and what happens once the plan is approved. The final downtown plan document will be available on the City of Elk River's website for the public to read and reference. The planning process began in summer 2024 with engagement in existing conditions. Project staff had a booth at the Farmers Market and Elk River Fest and hosted an online survey that had over 300 respondents. In addition to city staff, a steering committee provided guidance and input into the plan process. The steering committee included downtown business owners, downtown stakeholders, and community members. Through the fall and the winter, the project team and steering committee developed recommendations and a future vision of downtown. These recommendations considered redevelopment opportunities, transportation improvements, and enhanced public spaces. Finally, during the spring, a set of implementation strategies were developed to assist the city and its partners in implementing the plan. These strategies outline the key steps needed to begin implementing the plan, which are expected to occur over many years. Changes like those in this plan do not happen overnight. Recognizing this, the plan looks forward out to 10 to 20 years to create a long-term vision. This process and the final plan were guided by a series of goals, which were developed from public feedback and discussions with the steering committee. The goals were the criteria in which place recommendations and implementation steps were created within. During the existing conditions assessment, the project team and steering committee identified a series for key findings for downtown development, connectivity, and public spaces. For development, there are distinct areas in and around downtown, each of which have specific redevelopment opportunity locations. With connectivity, downtown is disconnected from much of the rest of the city because of Highway 10, the rail line, and the Mississippi River. Improving downtown connectivity should look at key locations for vehicles while improving the overall experience for people biking and walking in and around the area. For public space, the river is one of downtown's greatest assets. There should be more destination and park space along the river to draw people and activity downtown. Elsewhere, Main Street and Jackson Avenue should continue to play an important role in getting people in and around downtown, but also in hosting events and supporting area businesses. Finally, there should be more and more frequent events downtown throughout the year. Plan recommendations. The Elk River Downtown Plan recommendations are focused on 3 areas: downtown, the Riverfront, and Uptown, the area north of Highway 10. Each area has its own set of recommendations, which we'll spend a few minutes exploring. In downtown, the plan recommends redeveloping a portion of the city-owned parking lot. New development should have stores or restaurants along Main Street with either offices or some market-rate housing on the upper floors. This development should also have a public park space that can be used for formal events or casual gatherings. The rest of the block should continue to be used for parking, possibly with a future parking garage. The block between King Avenue and Lowell Avenue is envisioned to one day have future housing, stores, restaurants, and possibly a small hotel. Unlike the city-owned block, the King to Lowell block is all privately owned and will require willing sellers and developers. Elsewhere in downtown, the city will need to reconstruct both Main Street and Jackson Avenue in the next few years to replacing breaking pavers and aging utilities below the street. The plan recommends redesigning Main Street and Jackson Avenue with parallel parking on both sides of the street, wider sidewalks, and improved seating, lighting, and trees. This design will allow vehicles to continue comfortably moving downtown while creating more places for people to walk, gather, dine, shop, and space for events. The potential impacts of reconstruction on Main Street and Jackson Avenue was discussed at length within the steering committee. As the design and timing of the street improvements are further finalized, the city is committed to working with downtown businesses and property owners to minimize impacts during construction. Along the riverfront, the plan recommends phasing and expansions to riverfront park space, building on River's Edge Commons Park. This new space will include space for small events and recreation and trails connecting to Bailey Point Nature Preserve. Because much of this land along the river is privately owned, the city will need to coordinate with current and future owners and willing sellers to phase in improvements over time. As such, expanding the riverfront will require close partnerships and patient implementation. Within Uptown, the area north of Highway 10, the plan suggests a walkable neighborhood that offers many different types of housing. The plan also recommends the city work to attract a small grocer to locate in Uptown that could serve the surrounding neighborhoods, downtown, and travels along Highway 10. Like the King to Lowell and block in downtown, Uptown is all privately owned and will require willing sellers and developers. Because the plan anticipates incremental redevelopment over time, it intends to provide a vision for current and future owners to determine how best to use or redevelop their property. Additionally, the plan outlines improvements that could occur along Main Street East between Highway 10 and Highway 169. These improvements include adding a sidewalk along the north side of the street, burying utilities, and adding more attractive lighting, signage, and trees. Finally, the downtown plan outlines several action steps and strategies for the city and its partners to begin implementing the plan. Steps are organized by time and locations and include guidance on phasing projects over time. Similarly, they offer strategies on how to attract future businesses like a grocer or a hotel. Thank you for your interest in learning more about the future vision of downtown Elk River. To learn more about the project or to read the full plan, visit the City of Elk River's project website at elkrivermn.gov/1556/major-projects.